After several delays, Tales of the Shire is allegedly releasing in just a couple of weeks, and so far things are not looking particularly good for them. We know that they are blocking their critics on social media, which of course is never a good look. We know that Sweet Baby Inc. is affiliated with this game, and the lead producer hates gamers' guts. But to make it even worse, the Steam charts are painting a very grim picture for this game. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, you would think a game that is Lord of the Rings, you're in the Shire, it's a cute, cozy farming sim, life sim game, you'd think that that would have a lot of interest, there would be a lot of people who are very excited for it, and there are some individuals who think that this is going to come out and be an amazing game, and initially I personally was so hyped for this, it was insane, but my hype levels have just tanked after all of the attacks on gamers, after them blocking their critics, after them just being so disrespectful, and also recently we found out with a Sweet Baby Inc. affiliation that just killed a lot of people's hype completely. But things are not looking particularly good for them. Let's start off with the fact that this game has been delayed multiple times, and its Steam page has not a lot of information, but also you can't even pre-order the game. This is supposed to come out in 2 weeks, and you can't even place a pre-order, which is just a major red flag. That to me screams that this is not actually launching. But over the past couple of days, they have shared a lot of images on their social media, but they're images, right? It's not like full gameplay or anything, and they're not really giving a lot of info on this game itself. It just seems that they're like trying to build up hype and interest by withholding that info, so when you get into the game, you're getting the full experience for the first time, which I guess I could understand if this was a large game, but it's not. For a game of this size, which really just looks like a PS2 game, you need to be giving people as much information as possible, but this is Lord of the Rings, right? You would think that this would be doing absolutely insane, everybody would be excited for this, but the Steam charts paint a very grim picture because we don't have a lot of data on it. We do have via SteamDB the store data, and it's looking rough. We're 2 weeks away from release. Keep that in mind. It's number 68 on the wish lists, and it's got 29,236 followers, which you might be saying to yourself, well, since you can't technically pre-order it, that might be a reason why a lot of people don't have it on their wish lists, and they're going to add it once it's actually there. Or, hey, maybe it will gain followers, a little closer to release. 2 weeks is pretty freaking close, though. But if you look at other games that are on this list that are releasing soon, they're doing significantly better. As you can see, Tales of the Shire is 68. If you scroll up a little bit to games that are releasing very soon, like Wuchang, it's number 76 in top sellers. It's number 32 in wish lists, and it's got 143,000 followers. You would think that a game that releases a week before Tales of the Shire would be doing even a little bit worse, but that's not the case. It's doing way freaking better. And Killing Floor 3 also releases, right, in 2 weeks, very close to the date of Wuchang and Tales of the Shire. It's number 523 top sellers, which, okay, that's pretty good. It's almost top 500. Number 28 in wish lists, and 56,000 followers. That is way better. I just am so sad to see Tolkien's work being desecrated by activists. These people do not care about his work and his world and respecting the source material, and they're so worried about making as much money as possible off of what he created that they're not making high quality products. I'm still, I guess, a little bit excited for this just because it's got Lord of the Rings on it, but I expected like a cozy Shire, at least decent looking stylized game that I could like play on my Switch or play in my free time. And visually it doesn't look great. They're not explaining a lot of the features that the game actually has, and I think that all of these factors go into why it's doing so freaking poorly on Steam right now. But also keep in mind that this has been surrounded in controversy because of statements that have been made about this experience. We know Calliope Writer, who is a developer on this project, had said, "I promise I've never received a message from a higher up that said needs more diversity so we can get government funding. It's just that games are made by and for a wide range of people with varying experiences. There's no scary cabal forcing devs to add women and POC to games." And she also goes on to call us conspiracy theorists, saying, like, reading these conspiracies online about how the industry works is wild. There's no evil corp working on erasing white men from games. They're busy figuring out how to make you and every other gamer spend more money on microtransactions. And I do generally agree that companies only care about like microtransactions and getting you to spend as much money as possible, but they are forcing developers to change their work for the sake of diversity because they believe that forced diversity is going to pay off. Now, I always say this: diversity, when done naturally, is a really great thing. All different cultures and skin colors and people in general should be represented in games or be allowed to make games if that's what they want to do. But on the flip side, you can't just say, oh, because I've got 8 black women and 1 white man and that white man is evil, that's going to make a good story. It doesn't. It does not. And all you are at that point is a racist. And you are the racist who you complain about constantly. Maybe look in a mirror a little bit. But if you look at someone like Calliope Writer, there's absolutely no respect for gamers with a differing opinion from hers. We have seen multiple companies go out and say, oh yeah, we wanted to push diversity because we believe in DEI narratives in games. We have seen people admit that they've changed products around because they wanted to push more diversity. I mean, look at Forspoken, right? The lead character of that game, Frey, wasn't supposed to be a black woman. She was supposed to be a white woman, but they changed it because they believed it was going to pay off for them. Square Enix tried to pander to woke Western audiences, and it did not work. That game was a complete and utter failure. Look at Dragon Age the Veilguard with top surgery scar toggles and modern day terminology like transgender, non-binary. That hasn't worked. But if we even get into government funding, as she mentioned, there are several games that have been funded by governments, like Cat Park was funded by the US government. We have Dustborn, which was funded by several different sources, but also a government. And you really expect us to sit here and listen to you spewing straight up lies? Because that's what she's doing. And I get, right, maybe she herself personally hasn't gone through this situation, but you can't speak for everybody and then say you're correct when you are not correct. But to top all that off, she claims, right, oh my gosh, they don't know how the industry works. There's no evil corporation working on erasing white men from games. And then we turn around and find out that Tales of the Shire is a Sweet Baby Inc. game. This is a company that exists solely to push diversity, equity, and inclusion narratives into games. They only want to erase certain types of people from games or inevitably turn them into villains and make you hate them. This is not a good look. Definitely not in a time where a lot of gamers are boycotting Sweet Baby Inc. titles and titles that work with narrative consultant groups. This is not what you want your game to be remembered for. But Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, was consulted on by Sweet Baby and confirmed via Cameron Wild's LinkedIn. Oh yes, another person who absolutely hates gamers. Gee whiz, who would have thunk it? Not sure why you need Sweet Baby Inc. to do sensitivity reading for a Lord of the Rings game, which is just so unfortunate to see. I am so sick and tired of seeing Tolkien's work being taken and twisted by these losers. I just want it to be respected like so many other people do, and I know that it's profitable, right? But it would be more profitable if you respected the source material and you tried to actually make a game that Tolkien fans genuinely wanted. So this is not a good look right now, and we're finding out that the store data is really, really weak for this game. I don't even know if it's going to release in 2 weeks. They're claiming that it is, but you still can't pre-order it, which is a major red flag. And now there are tons of gamers talking about it negatively because of the Sweet Baby Inc. affiliation. And there are other games that are releasing right around the same time, like Killing Floor 3 and Wuchang Fall and Feathers, which are doing significantly better. So I'll be keeping my eye on this situation, but it's definitely not looking good. Though that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.